showing out, making moves, no doubt. FFA pride, it's what we're all about. From classroom dreams to real world flair, we got the stories you won't find anywhere. Beyond the jacket where the stories unfold, voices of the future, fearless and bold. Tune in now, let the passion ignite. It's more than a jacket, it's a way of life. Beyond the jacket where passion meets purpose.
Welcome back to another Beyond the Jacket podcast episode. Super excited to be sitting down with a brand new guest and learn about their FFA journey. Welcome to the podcast, Blake. I know that you have lots of wonderful stories to tell us about your SAE and FFA journey. Why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. I'm Blake Cossey. I'm from the Ashland FFA chapter. We're right in the middle of Central Missouri. I've actually just graduated, so I've been at FFA for all 4 years and done lots of CDEs, and also I'm heading to Nationals this October, so that's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. I remember also heading to Nationals. I was in high school, not quite an alumni when I went to Nationals, and it was nerve-wracking, so best of luck to you there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your SAE and why you're on the podcast?
Sure. I kind of have 2 SAEs. So last summer, I did diversified horticulture. So I started the summer. I got a ton of plugs. I got 300 chrysanthemum plugs, and I transplanted all of them. And my ag teacher, lucky enough, she let me use the greenhouse for the summer because I don't really have space to do this. So she let me use our greenhouse. And so I did 300. So I basically spent my entire summer growing these chrysanthemums. It's a lot of work because the heat is in Missouri. It gets quite hot and cold. We got both. So I spent practically every day at the school bothering my ag teacher and taking care of my SAE. And then later in the fall, when it was actually like mum season, I'd sell to the general public. And then after I was done with the chrysanthemums, I moved to poinsettias, the Christmas flowers. Everyone's kind of familiar. And those were another challenge. And I grew those out through the fall. Sometimes I'd get to skip my ag class and go out and water them because I still did them in the greenhouse, which was pretty nice. And then sold them, and that's what I did for my SAE, and it made quite a bit, and it was really fun. And I learned a lot about like plants, how to take care of them, and just management in the greenhouse, and that helped me a lot when I later did floriculture, which that's the contest we're going to Nationals for. So, and then my other one is kind of recent. So instead of doing the whole mums and poinsettias myself, nearby, we're lucky enough, we have this place called Strawberry Hills, and the people there are amazing. We'd go there during floriculture all the time to look at their plants, and they have about 30 greenhouses filled to the brim with every plant you could think of. So my boss, Steven, he and his wife, they like run this, and his parents used to run it, and they are the nicest people ever. But I basically have spent my like spring and right now, as it's getting to the end, just watering. I spend like 7 hours straight watering, and I don't even get like through half the greenhouses. Like, it's so much, but it's so fun. And I work with like a ton of old ladies, and they're super sweet, and I get to just yap about plants all day to people.
Oh, that's awesome. No, that's a great place to find your passion, and I can tell just by you kind of giving me the surface level of what you've got to dive into through your SAE that you're very passionate about it, which is exciting to see. There's a bunch of students that I get to chat with on the podcast, and it's great to see everybody's passion and how SAEs can be so diverse, and everybody's FFA journey is super diverse. Where did you discover FFA? Did you come from an agriculture background? Was it something you needed a class in high school? Tell us how you got started in your Blue Jacket.
So how I got started is my school isn't super big. It's kind of a more like, it's like suburbs, but like it's not a very big town. There's like, my graduating class is like 120 people, so not very big. So when I was in middle school, our ag teachers actually did our middle school program and the high school program, which I'm lucky because we don't do that anymore because our school's gotten big enough, but I kind of got to see a little bit inside of it. And so a lot of my friends, we did like hunter safety, and it kind of got to do like wood shop and stuff. And I've always kind of had like a thing for like making stuff, DIY projects. Me and my dad were always just making something. You never You never know.
Grand.
Fixing something. Yeah. So I kind of was like, oh, in high school, I'm definitely doing this, which is, and actually I have three older siblings and none of them did FFA at all. So it's kind of like my own path. I kind of went with it. But when I started FFA, I mean, I did it. I didn't really do a lot of the FFA stuff. Like I went to some of it, but like I was like, I don't really know how I fit in this program. And I wasn't until my second year when I did my first contest, which was forestry. And I was like, after I did that, I was like, this is amazing. I love contests. That's like my big thing in FFA. And after that, I was like, I got to be an officer. And then I kind of got more into the activities once I started, being an officer, kind of have to go to everything. But it's a lot of fun. And I loved every second. I wish I got into it sooner than what I did, but
I understand. I switched schools, Blake, the middle of my 7th grade year, right before COVID hit. My first class was ag science, and I joined the FFA classroom. I came from an ag family, but not an FFA family, and I wasn't super involved. Obviously, COVID hit. Didn't have any friends or any idea what FFA was, but I was in this class. And when 8th grade rolled around, I got really involved, ran for office, did a bunch of more the LDE side of things, which makes sense. I like to talk and I have a podcast. But all of that aside, it's kind of crazy how everybody has a different journey towards what they gravitate to and what their passions are. What kind of made you pull towards the horticulture, and like greenhouse management side of things?
I just really always enjoyed being around plants, and I've always had them. I don't really have any pets and never had any like animals or cattle like some of my other friends. So plants would always just seem like a good fit. And really, I started with forestry because I kind of I wanted to do something that I've like never done. So I was a little wary at first when I did a contest because I was like, I even remember telling my ag teacher, I was like, I do not know anything about trees. And he was like, you don't need to. That's what you're going to learn. And I was like, okay. So, and then I got into the trees and I was like, this is so fun. And I've also always been into like, I prefer like ID contests over judging contests because like, I think judging is great and people that do it are awesome and the reasons are so like, I think it's such a good skill, but I like facts. All 3 contests I did, which you guys probably don't have entomology.
I've never heard of it, so maybe not.
I can talk about that one a little bit. Only a couple states do it and they all do it a little different. So that was my second contest I did. We won state for that too, but obviously there's not really a nationals for it because it's not a big one. So that one, it means the identification of insects. So
cool.
It's very cool. So there's like 117 insects, and what they do is they put them on like little cards, and you have to know them. They're only going to show you like the adult versions of them. But it's pretty cool because, I mean, a ladybug can look like a million different kind of ladybugs. Like it's kind of categories more than it is, and you have to know like you need to know its order, metamorphosis, and its mouth parts, all that stuff. So it's like, yeah. It's like you get 10 points and you get graded on like each section So it kind of helps because if you know the order, the mouth part and like the metamorphosis are going to be the same for all the categories. But it's pretty cool. And then there's like a test section, and me and my team, love my team. I'll get more to them later. But it's been my same team like all these years, but we all love taking tests. Like
oh my gosh.
Because like it's such a knowledge contest, but like my binder, I think by the end of it, I think I did like 70 tests, and they're each like 70 questions each. Like every day I do like 3 tests through my ag classes. I knock them out. I do them at home anytime I had free time in class. Like I'm big on studying, but it's a pretty cool contest. I think it's very unique compared to the other ones. But after that, my ag teacher was like, well, floriculture is kind of the same idea, it's just a little different. And I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And we did. And it went just as well. So.
Well, there you go. I always liked the judging things because I wasn't a good test taker. So kind of devil's advocate there for you. And I do not have a green thumb at all. I was the animal kid. But it's okay to have your own path and kind of find what you like to do. I think that's a super valuable contest, especially for those interested in the agronomy side of things. moving forward in their career. I wish that more states offered that contest. If Florida does, I don't know about it, so don't take my word to the Bible on if we have it or not. But I can say that you've mentioned your parents, your ag teacher, and team members all through the course of one answer and prior. Who has had the biggest impact on your FFA journey, Blake?
Ooh, my FFA journey. I'd say my friends. I think that's what really got me into it from the start, because like it was like in middle school you don't really get a lot of choices for your classes, but that like my ag class was the one that like you could really get all your friends into one class. And even later on when I did contests, like when I did forestry, I was with all upperclassmen. I was like the youngest one on my team, but like I got so close with my teammates, and it was such like a special thing. And then even after that, I like sticking with them when I got my like new team and we went back to back for state. We have such like a good dynamic. Like we all get along so well, and we like I don't know, we like jump. We just like work together really well, and we have an amazing team dynamic. I love it.
Absolutely.
But,
it's all about finding your people. I
yeah.
said that in an interview on Monday. Somebody asked me a piece of advice, kind of turned the question around on me, and I was like, finding your people. I know people in Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, now Missouri. I mean, the podcast has helped tremendously with knowing kids from Alaska to Puerto Rico and everywhere in between, kind of like the reporter's part in OCC. But finding those people to lean on and really connect with. And they say that FFA is a blue and gold family, and you don't really understand that until you do graduate and look back and you're like, holy cow, I miss those days of memories driving to contest in the car, or all of us late night study sessions, or sending reasons and making fun of the terms that you made up that day, or all the things that just make those memories just as special. So I'm glad you focused on that and really honed in on friendship. That's an important lesson to learn, especially in FFA. You've won state 2 years in a row, right?
Yep, I have.
What type of adrenaline did that bring you? I'm sure you were on cloud 9.
Oh, absolutely. So I'll kind of get back to entomology. So my teammates, it's me, Greg, Gannon, and then Moravia was for entomology. And we actually didn't do entomology for years. We had a team the year before we did it, and they got I think they did like 6th at state. But our ag teacher really doesn't know that much about insects. So my team, we really took it on ourselves. We taught ourselves the entire contest. So a lot of the time when you go in contests, you have your ag teachers probably really good at it. They'll explain, you walk through. We didn't really have that. We broke every section down. We learned all the weird tricks, how they get you at the contest, and we taught it to ourselves. So our practices, our ag teacher just be in the corner, and we just be we just be bantering back and forth about things, how they do stuff, what we learned at our practice contest, all that stuff. So it was kind of crazy. And honestly, after I did forestry my first year, and winning state felt like such a big thing. Our ag teacher said if you get on stage, you get a steak dinner. So top 5, which is really funny. So that always seemed like such a big deal. And then we went, and actually we were the first team in years to win. We've had national teams for fall contests, grasslands, but we've never had one for a spring one. So it was pretty crazy to do it. And then doing it back to back was even more insane. I don't know. Floriculture felt, it was a little different because I felt like entomology was a lot closer. But floriculture, we've never lost a contest.
That's fantastic. I mean,
yeah, no, it's a little different, but we kind of just took what we learned from last year and we're just applying it to this contest. And the nice thing is they're very close. So floriculture in Missouri it's very different than the national one. We've been looking through the national stuff, and it's oh my God, what have we gotten ourselves into? But it's more of a horticulture contest. So you do plant ID, you take a test. You do some math problems, and you look at tools, and that's it. There's no designing section or anything, so it's really just knowledge based. But entomology is the exact same, it's just different stuff. So,
yeah, that's interesting. Now, when I got to go to nationals. I was also kind of the first one to get to go on my chapter's name in like 10, 15 years. I don't exactly remember. And I remember the pressure and how I felt. I was excited, but there was more to learn and more to know. And I went for extemporaneous public speaking. So
That's crazy.
kind of imagine like you can kind of prepare, but like where you study for entomology or floriculture, it's not the same.
Yeah.
I know like going towards that, there was a bunch to be excited about, but also a bunch of anticipation, especially on the plane ride. Is there anything like you're most excited about at nationals beyond the contest?
Um, I think I'm kind of excited. I just get to stick around a little longer, like because all my friends are still in high school, and I'm the only senior and I'm coming back. So it's fun. I kind of get to live out the jacket a little bit longer than everyone else. But I don't know. It's exciting to learn all the new stuff. We've been learning like making actual like floral designs and stuff. So it's very different because like we kind of just learn the textbook stuff, like the proper way to do it, but like actually doing it yourself is such a big difference. And actually, we're lucky enough is that in Missouri, one of our really big colleges, Mizzou. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
aware of them, but they're helping train us. Their floral program, like that they do there, like their teachers are like helping us prepare for this. So hopefully, the contests that do it, like so, because some states they do floral designs and stuff, so they're a lot more prepared than we are. But we'll see where it takes us. It's been a lot of fun learning how to do it, though.
Yeah, having that support from surrounding schools and other industry leaders kind of in your area empowers you to learn more and kind of move through that process as the anticipation builds. Do you want to like continue a career in this, or are you looking at something different? Do you not know what you want to do at all?
I think I have a general idea. I really do want to stay in like the greenhouse industry. I'd love to work in like greenhouse management, and I want to work at like a wholesale level because like I think it's so all like automated, and you're kind of over just seeing people and just seeing like all the different places that your product will go. But I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I'd love to stick with it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was kind of hooked after FFA, and I was like, man, I got to find some way to be involved and work in the agriculture industry and work more with communications. And that's how Beyond the Jacket was born. So dream as big as you possibly can dream. And in some miraculous way, I'm sure it will work out in the end. How do you continue to like stay involved with FFA in the future? I know like I get to go back to our state convention next week and work with our foundation. So I'm super excited for that. Kind of like you were saying, just to live a little bit longer in that environment. How do you hope to do that?
Well, nationals will help a lot, but honestly, I'm kind of just I get to work towards my American degree, so I have my state degree already. So if I got to get just a little bit more hours on everything, and so I get to hopefully I'll get to go to national convention. I'll get to go this year and then possibly next year. So that's still like 2 more years, and I'll be 20 years old by that time. So
I can kind of understand that. I'll turn 20 in October and also get to go in nationals for my American degree in October. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm old. I'm just
yeah,
a senior, um, which is it kind of hits you like a brick wall. You're like, man, I love this. This was my whole life, and I don't get to wear the jacket again after this. And I don't think people realize that. It's kind of like you kind of have to mourn the loss of, okay, this was good, but I have to move into the real world now. I don't get to go to FFA contest or things like that. So moving forward, I'm sure we will all remember the good old days in the Blue Jacket. Thank you so much for telling us about your time with floriculture, entomology, right?
yep.
Right? And
Mhm.
your SAE and all your time in the Blue Jacket. I really enjoyed learning about your FFA journey. Listeners, I'm sure you did too. Thank you for listening to us and joining us every Friday.